Hey everyone, I just want to talk a little bit tonight about motivation and how it relates to what I do for a living. And um, my day job is as a respiratory therapist. So, what that involves is basically helping people breathe better and the best that they can. There's respiratory therapists who work in hospitals and they work in critical care, and there's so many things that they do in the hospital. So they would be involved in you on keeping your life support going properly. They would be involved if somebody had a major emergency happen in the hospital. They would be involved for keeping their airway open. So many things that they do. But what I do in home care is I am responsible for going to see people who are on oxygen. And most of the people who are on oxygen have a chronic lung disease. And some of these chronic lung diseases just happen. They're not a result of smoking, but a majority of the people who I see, have been smokers in the past or are currently smoking. So, an important part of what I do is talk to people about smoking, their habits, are they planning on quitting, and so forth. So, um, and that's so interesting to me because learning what motivates people to quit um, relates to any health behavior change. For me personally, specifically, that's been uh, exercising and eating well, that kind of thing. And that's not an easy thing for me to do. But for the people who I see, their big challenge has been quitting smoking or thinking about doing that and taking steps towards that. So we always ask our clients if they're currently smoking, if they're planning on quitting, or if they have quit smoking, how long ago did they quit? And I also always like to ask people, um, how did you quit and was it hard to quit? And the answers that I get vary a little bit, but a majority of the people, I ask how they did it, and a majority of the people say, I decided to do it and I did it. I was tired of the way it was making me feel. I was tired of always being sick. I wanted to be able to see my kids grow up. I wanted to be able to see my grandkids grow up. So that was their motivation. It came from inside themselves to do it. The Nobody who I ask has ever said to me, I quit smoking because my doctor told me I needed to quit. Or I quit smoking because my husband or my wife or whoever in my life told me that I needed to quit. It's always been successful, not always been successful, but the people who have been successful in quitting are the ones who have decided to do it for themselves, not because somebody else told them to do it or made them do it. So, another interesting point is when I ask people this question, sometimes people want to just tell me what I want to hear. They want to say, oh, yeah, I really want to quit and I'm going to do it. But what I really want people to do, and I tell them this, I just say, I just want you to be honest with me. Like, I just really want to know where you're at. Is this a change that you want to make? Because if somebody's not ready to make that change and they're doing it for somebody else, they more than likely will not be successful. Somebody tells you to do something, and it's not something you've decided to do on your own, immediately you get your backup. So that's how this kind of relates to myself and my life, or just motivation in general to make any kind of health behavior change. So if somebody wants to lose weight or needs to lose weight, and then somebody tells them they should do it and how to do it, um, that's not very helpful to them. They probably already know that they maybe need to lose weight or should take better care of themselves. What they need is some support and encouragement in that, but they need to decide on their own how they're going to do it and and when they're going to do it. You can support them and you can encourage them in that, but you can't make that change. And there's also a difference between something being easy and something being simple. So both with quitting smoking and getting healthier, so exercising, eating right, the steps to do that are simple. Everybody knows what to do. Everybody knows the actions they should take, basically. So for quitting smoking, that might be they could get a smoking cessation aid or a patch, and then they just find a quit date and they stop, right? Those are simple steps, but actually executing that is not easy. So that's where support comes into that equation. And also with getting healthier, so eating better and exercising. The steps are simple. You get up, you work out every day, you make better choices with what you're eating. But to do that on a daily basis, it's not easy. I don't find it easy. I know a lot of other people don't find it easy. People need support and help to do these things. So that's my point about motivation. And anything you want to change, you have to find your own personal motivation, your own why. Why do I want to do this? Who am I doing it for? What are the reasons? And if it's an internal motivation, then you are going to be able to start on that journey. And other things will keep you going as you go along, and other people can be supportive and help you when you start that journey. But to actually get the motivation, it has to come from inside yourself. So I'm going to be sharing some more things that my patients have taught me, because they've taught me so much more than I can ever teach them. I can go in and I can, I have the facts. I can teach them how their oxygen equipment works. I can tell them about their health and all that kind of stuff. But they are really the experts on their own body. And you as yourself, whoever's listening, you're the expert on your own body and how your mind works and how you can motivate yourself to do these things. You can reach out for help for other people, but you really know what makes you tick, what makes things work for you. So that's the thing. So I have lots of lessons to share about my patients and the struggles and the amazing inspiration and the things they have to overcome to just live a normal life, and a life that we sometimes we take for granted, that it's just easy for us to get up and walk to the kitchen. And for some people, they get up and they can't. It's a struggle just to do that. So they're doing those things, and that's amazing. So it's appreciating the space that you're in now, and also appreciating your health when you don't have these challenges as well, and just learning from other people what they're doing. So I will share some more videos at another time. Thank you for listening.